to my channel. I'm Nozipho, and today I want to share with you 3 things that I've had to change over the course of about a year. And all these things I've had to change when I started my business and really getting myself into a better place and establishing, a better life. And by no means, these 3 things aren't the only things that help me to be able to transform my life and to be able to take steps to working towards my goals, but they were 3 of the hardest things for me to be able to shift in my mind and in my actions. And so I want to share those things with you. And so let's go. The first thing that I had to learn was to accept help. And as easy as that sounds, to just be able to accept help from anywhere, it was not that easy. I was the type of person where I felt like I have to do everything. I felt like both in my home life and in my business life, I just have to do everything. And a lot of the times I didn't even have time to do half the stuff that was on my list. So I was coming up with all these to-do lists and finding myself falling short and being stressed out and overwhelmed. And it wasn't healthy, and it wasn't allowing me to be the best that I can be. It was really, really difficult. And I had to realize that I don't have to do everything. I don't. And that I can get help. It doesn't feel good to believe that you have to do something that you either can't do or you don't have time to do. That's one of the hardest feelings ever, because it makes you feel like you are falling short of something. But the truth of the matter is, there is help that you can get out there, and you just have to be willing to accept that you need help and that help is okay. It's acceptable, that you don't have to do everything. And that's the mind frame that I had to put myself in. And so what I ended up doing was I hired some certain tasks in my business that I either didn't know how to do or I just didn't like to do, And and that made it so much easier. I kid you not, it made it so much easier to know that, okay, you know what, somebody else was taking care of something that I was dreading to do. And it gave me more time to do a lot of the things that I love to do, and things, in my home that I'm able to do that I actually loved. So you don't have to limit yourself to just getting help in your business. You can actually get help in your personal life. You can get people to come in and clean your house. You can get a personal chef every now and again. You can get babysitters if you have kids. And one thing I really thought was really creative was getting your groceries delivered to your house. You don't have to go to the grocery store. Yeah, that there is such a thing. And I'm gonna actually try to do it, because I know somebody who was telling me that they get their groceries delivered to them at their door, and I was like, wait, what? And so I will try that, and I will definitely have to let you know how that goes. But yeah, if you are overwhelmed, you're not gonna be able to be the best that you can be for the people that you work with, the people that you work for, and also your family. So when you are stressed, you're not the best that you can be. So whatever you can do to eliminate that stress, do it. Get the help that you need. It's okay, and know that it's okay. The next thing that I had to learn was to think differently about money. Y'all, I'm telling you, this by far was one of the hardest things, because it's something that, over the years, I've told myself over the years that, money is evil, money is bad, I shouldn't have a whole bunch of money, and that I felt like it was acceptable to have a certain amount of money, but having an abundance of it was just not something that a Christian needed to have. And I indirectly just kept running that over my head all the time, and it really showed in a lot of the decisions that I was making. And I remember when I was actually working at a job, an actual 9-to-5 job, and I would save all the money that I can get. Just save. I never wanted to do a lot of the stuff that was fun that I actually wanted to do, because I was like, you know what, nah, that's $20, or that's $50, let me just save it, because I felt that if I spent it, even just a portion of it, I wasn't gonna get anything, I wasn't gonna get it back. And the funny thing is, I had a steady income, You know, I was getting a steady paycheck, but I still had that in my mind that, oh, once I give away this money, I'm not gonna get it back. And that held me back for a very, very long time, and being uncomfortable with having money and not feeling like, you know what, this is the Christian thing to do. But you know what, at the end of the day, I had to realize that, you know what, the love of money is what I didn't want. I didn't want money to make me greedy and all of that. That I didn't want. But money in itself was not and is not a bad thing. It can actually do good. You having money can actually be a good thing, especially if you want to give to the world, and you know, you can do so much with it. And having a business, your business needs to make money, honey, okay? Your business needs to make money. If it does not make money, it is a hobby. And I had a mindset of, oh, I'm running a hobby business, because technically I didn't really want my business to make money. I did want my business to make money, but I had to be able to believe that it was okay to make the money in my business. It was okay for me to have more than I had before, you know? It's okay. And that money in itself does not mean that you're a bad person, because good people have money too. Good people can do great things with money. So I had to let go of thinking that money was evil and that it was bad and that as Christians we shouldn't have any, because at the end of the day, you know what? God wants us to prosper. He does want us to be able to live in abundance, and not just financially, but in all areas of our lives, in our health and in everything. He wants us to be able to give back to people and do so much good in the world. That had to sink in real deep, y'all. Just all the way in there. And it was a work in progress, and it took time, but you know what, it's something that had to be done. I had to think differently on that. Now this one is hilarious, because it took me a very long time to actually digest it in my head, that I needed to look how I wanted to feel. You know, growing up, I was one of those girls where some days I like to be cute and, you know, dress all girly and, you know, put on makeup, do all of that. But a lot of the times you would find me in my headscarf, in my pajamas, in my sneakers and sweatpants and all of that. And, you know, I remember this one time I went to the mall in pajamas, y'all. In pajamas. I have no idea why I did that. Listen, I don't know. But yeah, like that's where I was, and I was comfortable with it. I was like, you know, I don't really care. But you know what? I realized that there's a difference when I actually feel like I look good and when I'm just putting on clothes just to have clothes on, you know? I felt that when I put on something and I felt like I looked beautiful, I was more confident, and I was able to get a lot of things done. I wasn't so sluggish and lazy and, you know, all that kind of stuff. No, like I felt like, oh, I'm really doing something, you know? And it's a good feeling to have. And an important thing to also know is that how you carry yourself, how you look, how you act, what you say, is a form of branding yourself. Whether you like it or not, if you are a human being and you're in this world, you are branding yourself every single day. Every day. You, me, everybody, we're all branding ourselves. And I had to realize, I was like, wait a minute, if the way that I come across to people and the way that I do things is giving people a perception of who I am, what perception am I giving them? And I had to look at myself and really think about where I wanted to go in life and what I wanted to be, what God wanted me to be in life. And I needed to be able to be that now, not when I get there. Take up that character, take up that being that person and acting the way that you would want to be perceived and speaking the way that you would want to be perceived, and not letting other people and the rest of the world dictate who you are, but you are living and you are showing them who you are by your character, by how you carry yourself, by the things that you say, and you're letting them know this is who I am. So when I realized that, I was like, wow, this is really a powerful thing. And this ended up being really fun to kind of discover, because not only is discovering, you know, the person that God wants you to be, not only is that fun, but it's also fun to be able to figure out, okay, what kind of stuff actually looks good on my body? What kind of stuff, what's my style? What's my personal style? What are some of the things that I like to do on a regular basis, and start living that life, walking in those shoes, and not having to wait until you reach wherever it is that you're trying to reach, but you're actually living it today. I have learned so much about myself in the last year, and it's been an amazing journey, and it's a continued journey. It's not just like a journey that just like you discover this, you learn it, and then you stop. Absolutely not. Every single day is a day of growth. These things can definitely transform your life. I'm hoping that this has inspired you and has helped you in starting to think about, some of the shifts that you need to make in your life that are holding you back and making you feel like you're stuck. You can actually move past that and start on a journey of not only successful living, but happy living, and getting in tune with who you are and who God wants you to be. So I would love to hear from you down in the comments. I want you to go ahead and comment below what are some of those things that you've had to do in order to be able to have a better life. I want to hear what you have to say below. And don't forget to give a thumbs up, and also subscribe so that you could be the first to know when the next video comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you are having a fabulous day. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.